an entity called Ezekiel coming through my clients and speaking to me directly. This changed everything. This one paused me in a way that I had to rethink what's going on here with my practice. And at the time of taking on this breathwork instructor, I was very much leaning on the books to validate my practice. I didn't believe in myself. I was feeling like an imposter. I had no specific training for past life regression. I had to catch up with books to try to understand what was happening in my practice. So when I regressed him, again, no force into any past life, but his mind took him to a time when he's in a fetus. He's in the mother's womb and he's being strangled by the umbilical cord, he's telling me. Eventually suffocates and dies. And so he makes sense of that time and he overcomes the fear into something more loving and beautiful and lets it go. And then his voice changes. Hi. I said, hi. And he goes, you don't recognize me, do you?
Oh.
And I said, no. He says, I'm Ezekiel. I said, oh, like the one from the Hebrew Bible I've been sort of studying about, because at this time I've been studying a fair bit.
Mm-hmm.
He says, no, I cannot be written about. You would reference me as Archangel Ezekiel. He says, I watch over you and I have a message for you and I don't have long. Your thirst for knowledge will consume you. Be still. You already know. It's written in your DNA. He knew that I was consumed by needing to validate my practice by leaning on practitioners and qualifications and academic papers.
Which is a similar message that I received when we did our past life regression. Right. It was encoded within our DNA.
Absolutely. That's what the core message is to start having faith on what's written inside you. And so the stillness is the practice to start feeling what that is, what that messaging might be. Then he abruptly changes his voice and goes, I must go. Your client's hard. And I said, oh, okay, then thanks for coming. See you later. And then he disappears. And then you could see my client was lying down at the time on the couch. He springs up like a zombie. His eyes open. Without inserting anything, I'm here curious just to say, what did you experience? And he says, I don't know, but my heart feels like it's going 1,000 beats a minute. I just thought I was going to die. Felt like I was in a distant sort of place watching.
Yeah.
I said, had you heard of Archangel Ezekiel? And he says, no. So we both jump on Google at the same time.
Yeah.
And we Google Archangel Ezekiel. There's a passage that's so-called channeled from Ezekiel. And it says, I come to those that are helping others find their path and find their spiritual connection. That consciousness was dropping in to send me a message to make sure I stayed on the path.